stands up. No one has the balls to sit them down and say, look, just cut the shit.
Welcome to Enough of the Bullshit. My name is Matt Lindsay, and I'm your host. This is the intro episode to Enough of the Bullshit. Like I said, everyone who's listening right now probably, or I'm going to say, going out on a limb here, definitely knows who I am. So I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you listening. For the record, I'm going to say this at the beginning. I do not give two fucks how many listeners I have weekly. I could do this for a week, for 6 months, a year. I don't give a shit. At the end of a year, if I have 15 listeners a week, I don't care. This is this is just a hobby for me. This is something that I really don't know what inspired me to do it. I started listening to podcasts maybe about 2 years ago. So I guess if I did have some sort of inspiration to this, it would kind of maybe lean towards the Sean Avery podcast, which is No Gruffs Given. At one point it was No Fucks Given, but he's changed that name. But I kind of dabbled in the podcast world and thought that it'd be fun. It's just kind of like an outlet for me. It's a place I can come, I can get some shit off my chest, and talk to you people, and maybe, I don't know, maybe help someone. Maybe you guys can relate to it. Maybe this half an hour to 40 minutes a week might give you a chuckle on your way to work one day, or while you're cooking dinner one day. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm just happy you're listening, and I appreciate it. This podcast is going to be really just about life in general. It's going to highlight really just life and stupid people and stupid shit that gets thrown at you on a day-to-day basis. If people that know me know I am not afraid to stand up for myself in public with strangers. I don't care if you are being an idiot or you're causing shit or you're doing something stupid. I'm going to tell you you're being stupid. I'm going to tell you that you're full of shit or whatever. I can't stand it. I can't stand people putting their heads down and walking away. Because this is people that do that stuff. They're just going to keep doing it. And that's this. You're gonna hear a lot of that in this show. The plan also is to obviously dabble in a bit of sports. Many people know me. I'm a big sports guy. I'm not going to expose who yet, but I have another one of my best friends. Grew up with him, and he is a big sports guy as well. He's also one of the best chirpers. I'm gonna go out on another limb here and say he's. I'd say, if I was a betting man, top 100 chirpers in not just Toronto, the greater Toronto area. I'm going to say that. You get a couple of, once you get on the sauce with this guy and you get a couple of pops in him, he can really, he can get into you. He can dig into you hard. So, hopefully that's the plan, is to get him to join us for, maybe weekly, every other week, do a little touch on some sports. Especially probably focus on the Toronto sports kind of thing. So you're going to hear some of that. Weekly news and stuff. I'll try to highlight that as well. It's a bunch of everything. This is going to be my hobby, and like I said from the very beginning, I do not give a fuck what you guys think, what people think of this. If you don't like what I have to say, you can hit stop right now and don't fucking listen to me. I don't care. Unsubscribe. This is something for me, and it's going to be completely raw. Try to do as very little editing as possible, because from what I've learned in the podcast world is people, and myself included, when I listen to a podcast, I want to hear raw shit. I want to hear real shit. I don't want to hear scripted, anything like that. That's not what I want to listen to. I want to be able to laugh and relate, and I want real shit. So if that's what you're looking for, then you've come to the right spot. So a little about myself. Everyone who's listening knows who I am, but just in case there is someone that just happened to click on this, on whatever streaming platform you're on and decided to give it a go, I thank you. My name is Matt Lindsay. I am I'm based in Canada, in Ontario, Southern Ontario. I was born in Toronto in the east end of the city, Scarborough. Currently living still in the GTA. I'm in the Durham region, in Clarington, in a town called Bowmanville. Great little spot. My wife and I have been out here for just a little over 4 years now, and we love it. Getting busy out here, though. Anyone in the Clarington region, there's a lot of farms out here, and they just keep developer after developer after developer. So it's getting busy out here, but we like it. So yeah, I guess I mentioned I'm married. I have a beautiful wife, Christy. And we've been married just a little over 5 years. We're going on 6 years come August, the end of August. And we have been with each other since we were 17 years old. So we weren't high school sweethearts because we didn't go to the same high school, but we were in high school when we started dating, and we managed to, through thick and thin, and we had been through everything. We managed to stick it out, and we got engaged young, but didn't pull the trigger on the wedding right away. We decided it was smart for her to finish school. We bought a house first, got comfortable, then we got married, and we recently, 4 months ago, November 1st, welcomed our first child to the world, my baby girl, Charlotte, or our baby girl, sorry, Christy. She's daddy's little girl, though. And we are through the moon. Like I said, fatherhood is something that is, like everyone told me before. Obviously, a lot of friends and a lot of older guys that I hang out with, they told me it's the most beautiful feeling in the world. And I knew that it is, but you can't, you don't know quite to what extent that they mean by that. And I'm telling you, as soon as Charlotte came into this world, and I heard that first, they say that scream, and that's the best scream you ever want to hear out of your kid, is that first breath. Snap of a finger, my life changed. And every single day, she is teaching me something about myself that I didn't know. And she is my world. And like I said, my wife too she was fucking meant to be a mother. She is doing such a great job, and I don't know where I would be as far as being a father if I didn't have Christy as that child's mother, because she is just phenomenal. And it's, the two of us are learning, like I said, Charlotte's teaching us about ourselves, and Christy and I are learning a lot more about each other, because this is something completely new to us, and we're a team. We're doing our absolute best, and we are every day so happy. So you're going to hear a lot about Charlotte and my family, because I love my family. And like I said, this podcast is going to be based on life and the shit that it throws at you along the way. So as we talked briefly about sports earlier, hopefully try to get that mystery guest, which I'm not going to reveal who it is yet. But we will be talking a lot about sports. I'm an avid hockey fan, avid Leaf fan, massive golfer. In the spring, summer, and fall, I spend a lot of time at the golf course. I love barbecuing. I love to relax. I love to enjoy drinks, cocktails, beers, you name it. I like a good cigar every now and again. And if I've had a couple too many drinks, I'll have a butt. But I am not a smoker. I actually quit that about a year ago, which I'm very happy. I was just shy of a pack a day. since I was a teenager. And finally, when we knew we were having a kid, I overcame that as a daily smoker. I think in the last year of quitting, I have had maybe 5 to 10, and it's usually when I'm with people that smoke and we've had a couple of drinks. But yeah, cigars, I pack a dip every now and again. I am the definition of a guy who likes to sit back, relax, and have a good time. So again, if you're into stories like that, you're going to hear shit about that. I was in the podcast world for about 2 months, and I had an idea in the fall, and I said, okay, this is something I want to do. I want to start a little podcast. And like I mentioned, avid golfer. And I said it'd be cool to do kind of, I know there's a lot of golf podcasts out there, but something just not much about stats. I don't really, because anyone can just flick on the Sportsnet or TSN or the Golf Channel and or on your fucking phone and just type in PGA Tour or LPGA Tour or European Tour and see the fucking stats, who finished where, who shot what. That's boring. It's so repetitive. It's robotic. I wanted to start something that was geared towards the lifestyle of golf, stories about being paired up with someone, pretty much all the shit that comes with golf. So talking about this with a buddy, and we decided we were going to dig in, and I kind of laid my cards on the table and said, this is my idea. 2 guys shoot the shit. Let's be real. Let's be raw, right? We'll talk about certain aspects of the game. We can touch on tournaments, weekly tournaments, results of tournaments, but let's not just sit there and read stats because it's boring and it's repetitive. Let's get into discussions, because golf, there is 1,000,001 discussions about golf, and it changes every day. So you could go back to a certain subject 2 months later and it could be completely different. That was my idea. We came up with I came up with a name. I came up with a logo. I came up with I shouldn't say I came up with the intro song, but I cut an intro kind of thing, and off we went. We had a couple of good episodes. We had a couple of good calls, and then everything started to kind of go south. The individual I was doing the podcast with, it turned out, and I didn't know him that long, may I add, which they say friends shouldn't dip their pens in company ink, and I kind of understand that now. And I don't even think he really realizes that he's like it, but he's very controlling, and he wanted to take over certain parts of the podcast to the point like where I was completely left out of the whole thing. Now, there's a difference between someone who works shift work like myself. I work 3 to 4 days a week, 12-hour shifts, days or nights. And the shift fluctuates. It's a continental style shift. This individual worked Monday to Friday, 8 to 4, 7 to 3. It was office hours, 9 to 5, whatever it may be. So obviously his hours are more flexible. It got to the point where he 1 week scheduled 2 interviews around his schedule and didn't even ask me, like, are you available? Just said, I'm doing an interview these days. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? I'm working those days. I'm on nights. I can't do them. And his response was kind of just like, oh, well, sorry to hear that. If it's one thing that I value more is friendship. And when you're doing something like that with a friend and you have a partnership, you just don't do shit like that. So being who I am, I said, this is fucking bullshit. Like, how dare you just schedule 2 interviews without even confronting, asking me, am I available? Not confronting, that's the wrong word to use. Asking me my availability. So got back and forth, and I still, to this day, really don't think he realizes that he was being an asshole, but whatever. When I finally quit the podcast a few days later, I made a post, which many of you, like I said, listeners, you know who I am. You're probably listening right now because you follow me on Instagram. That I put a post out saying I'm no longer with this certain podcast. And I'm not going to say the name of the podcast or who it is. People who are listening, you probably know, but I'm not going to say because I'm not trying to out anyone. He sent me a text after I put that post out and saying, you know, sorry for the direction things went. I hope this won't affect our friendship. And this guy I literally met in the summer. We got paired up with him during a round of golf. Turned out to what I thought seemed to be a really good dude. We had a lot in common. We had some cigars. We listened to tunes. We had a good round of golf. He's a good golfer too. And so I didn't really realize he was like that until we started working together with the podcast. And like I said, I laid my cards on the table at the beginning once a week, and he started wanting to do right off the bat video and wanted this and was turning it into something that it wasn't even intended to be. So I guess he got frustrated with my lack of interest in his ideas because it was all him. It was his idea. And anytime I voiced my opinion, it was just, I would just get completely ignored through the text. He wouldn't respond, or it was just not he'd kind of beat around the bush with saying, no, this isn't what I want to do. That's not a partnership. So long story short, yeah, so I quit. He sent me that message saying, hope this doesn't affect our friendship. So if the direction things went, I'm not a complete asshole. So I just went, well, whatever. Like, I don't hold grudges, whatever. It's just short and sweet message back. In that message, though, he's apologizing for the direction that things went. He still never apologized for, like, looking, I was an asshole, I fucked you over, or whatever. I wouldn't say he fucked me over, but what he did was not cool. That's not what friends do. So, yeah, I'm over it. It is what it is. I said I'm going to start something myself, and now here we are. So this is everything here. I am not bringing anyone else in as a partner on this. Like I said, I might have a guest every now and again, and I might have a certain individual pop on for a sports recap every now and again. We'll talk Toronto sports, we'll talk basketball, we'll talk Leafs. But at the end of the day, this is me. This is my show, and what I say goes because I don't have to worry about anyone else. So that's a little history on that. I absolutely love the idea of having a podcast, and going back to what I said at the beginning, if you don't like what I have to say, then don't fucking listen. I could care less how many viewers I have. This is my outlet. This is me getting shit off my chest. So that's pretty much what the background of this. You're not going to hear, I'm not going to get into politics on this because we all know how that can go. But if there's something, something comes up in the news that's blatant bullshit, I might bring it up, but we'll see. Depends what it is. I guess what I want to talk about this week, and I'll briefly talk about it, is obviously we are in the middle, well, hopefully not the middle. Hopefully we're near the end of a pandemic. I really hope so. It's getting so hard to try to see that light at the end of the tunnel. I know everyone's trying to see it. Everyone's hoping to see it. The Canada, Ontario, we just got approved or bought a new vaccination, which is going to start getting rolled out. Finally. Right? Finally. I think that all healthcare professionals should be vaccinated first, and then slowly go down the priority list, which I believe that's how they're doing it. But I still, the one thing that I can't wrap my head around, and it's absolute bullshit, is some of these restrictions. Like, I just watched a video. I don't know where it is. It didn't say. I'm assuming it's probably somewhere in the States, but I don't know. This chick's going through a drive-through, and whatever it is, a Starbucks or it could be a Dunkin' Donuts or a McDonald's. I don't know, because you couldn't see. She just had the camera like on herself. So she's going through, and I guess she ordered some sort of drink, the coffee or whatever it is. And the guy goes, I can't serve you without a mask. Now, I completely understand if someone walks into a store without a mask on, and the policy is, like in here in Ontario, it's mandatory masks inside a store. Don't go in and argue with the guy making $15 an hour serving your coffee. He didn't make those rules. Okay, at a Starbucks or a Tim Hortons or a McDonald's or anywhere, Walmart, Canadians, wherever you're going in to shop or buy food, there's no point arguing with the person working there. They didn't make the fucking rules. It's government mandated. So just put a fucking mask on. Like, you don't have to agree with it. Just put it on, because guess what? That person, they don't deserve to get in an argument with someone because they don't want to wear a mask. Just wear a fucking mask. Now, going through a drive-through is a bit of a different story. So this chick's going through a drive-through, and the guy's like, I can't give you this drink or whatever it is without when you don't have a mask on. And she's like, but I'm in a drive-through. And he's like, I can hand you a mask. Do you want a mask? And she's like, whoa. Wait a sec. You can hand me a mask. I can put the mask on. And then you can hand me my drink. And he's like, correct. She's like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I would have said that too. I said, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyone with a brain, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So you can hand me the mask. I put the mask on. Now you hand me the drink. Why don't you just hand me the fucking drink instead of the mask? What's the difference? It doesn't make any sense. Now, this guy probably didn't. I don't know if that, like I said, I don't know what this store was or where it was. I don't know what the policies are or what. I have no idea what the restrictions are, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And that's bullshit. People are making up rules as they go. I was in the LCBO today, which anyone that's not in Ontario listening, that's the Liquor Control Board of Ontario. It's where we go to buy booze. You can buy booze at grocery stores now, Walmarts, there's the beer stores, but this is where you're going to go buy liquor, which they sell everything there, but generally you're going to go there to buy liquor. And on the front door, I completely missed it. I had my Starbucks and my coffee. I walk into the store and I grab a buggy and I'm walking around. I have my mask on. I wasn't taking sips out because the thing was piping hot. The Starbucks in Bowmanville happens to be right beside the LCBO. So some lady comes up to me that works there and says, "Oh, sorry, sir, no outside food or drink." And I went, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize." She said, "Well, there's a sign on the door." That's my fault. I walked in. I didn't see the sign. I didn't take the time to look at the sign because anywhere else I can go and walk around with a coffee. So I just said, yeah, well, it doesn't make sense, but okay, we're going to argue with the lady. It doesn't make any sense. So I went outside, I put my coffee in my car. I came back in and finished whatever. I'm not going to argue with the lady at the LCBO because she doesn't make that rule. It doesn't make sense to me. Why? I guess it's people pulling down their mask, taking a sip and pulling it up, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Where I am now in the Durham region, restaurants can open and bars or whatever, but you can only have 10 people in the restaurant, which, what the fuck is the point? It's so stupid. So I go to a restaurant or my local pub because I'm a big pub supporter, as a lot of you guys know. I hate chain restaurants. If I'm going to go to eat, I go to a pub, little family-owned joint, local joint, help out the small businesses all day. I was like this before the fucking pandemic. So for all you listeners out there, support your pubs because I guarantee you their menu is going to be better than any Boston Pizza, shit, Shoeless Joe's, Jack Astor's, Kelsey's. It's all going to be better. 100%. It's good shit. Probably at a better price too. And if you skip the dishes and you're going to order from a small business and it's local, just call them and order it and go and pick it up because they lose, I think it's like 30% off the top to skip the dishes or Uber Eats. So go and pick it up. And if you're going to skip the dishes, order from your Boston Pizza or your fucking Montana's or Kelsey's or wherever those chain places. The places that aren't going to go out of business if they don't get business, pretty much, is what I'm saying. So back to what we were saying, 10 people in a restaurant, it doesn't make sense because I go to Home Depot or to Walmart or Canadian Tire and I'm bumping shoulders with people. Yeah, depending on the size of the building, they can have, I think it's a certain percentage, 25% or something capacity. But everyone's obviously going to the same areas. So you go to one part of the store and it's a fucking ghost town. You go to some areas and it's fucking packed. I'm bumping shoulders with people. They got the arrows on the aisles. No one fucking follows them. And I'm that guy. If there's someone's walking the wrong way, I just get right in their way. Fuck you. And odds are you're the hero that's going to say, "Oh, your mask's on wrong," or "That's not the right mask. Where's your two masks?" Fuck off. There's arrows on the road. Just fucking follow the arrows. Make it easy for everyone. Come on. Like, either way, it doesn't make sense to me. I can stand 2 feet from someone will come and stand 2 feet from me in an aisle at a grocery store, but my local pub can only allow 10 people in. It's fucking stupid. It doesn't make sense. Maybe it's because you can go into a restaurant and sit down and you can take your mask off. I don't know. But when you get up to go to the bathroom or any, you put your mask on, you're told that's what you have to do. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Either way, and another thing too, on the subject of COVID, kind of on the subject of COVID, the vaccinations, the stations that are opening up, they're starting to organize where people are going to go get vaccinated and all that stuff. I can't wait. I think it's awesome. This is me seeing that light, and hopefully everyone else can. But I read that they're going to put, so when people go to vote, and some people will take a selfie next to the poll station and look at me, I voted, with a little duck face and everything. I don't understand it. Why everyone has to post on social media when they did something right or good. You got to post, and it's like the idiots that post online, going up to a homeless person and giving them, a sandwich or a hot coffee or $5 or whatever, or $10-20. Here you go. Look at me. And now I'm going to take someone's video record. I'm going to, hey, thumbs up. Look at me. You're a fucking waste. Fuck. Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Either way, vaccination stations, centers, or whatever you want to call them, they're opening up. In Ontario, I heard on the radio that they are going to put selfie booths in these vaccination centers. So when you get vaccinated, there's a little booth you can walk by, or a screen or something with advertisement probably, that you can stand there and take a fucking selfie and say, look at me, I got vaccinated. Our tax dollars went towards that. What the fuck? Next time, and this is what they said on the radio too, is like, no, so what? Now when I pull into my driveway every day, I should take a selfie. Look at me. I arrived home sober. I did this sober. Like, come on. Are you fucking serious? Like, a selfie booth at a vaccination center? Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's what you're thinking about right now? But that's what everyone's concerned with nowadays, is how many followers they have on Instagram, how many likes they get on a picture. I don't know. I enjoy social media more than anyone else, but I don't get that aspect of it. Anytime you do something nice or something right, you got to take a selfie and post it. Like, look at me. I don't get it, but anyways, should be interesting as these vaccination centers start opening up. I'm pumped. Hopefully, by the summertime, life starts to get back to somewhat normal, or whatever our new normal is going to be. But anyways, I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to cap it up. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. I said this is just the intro. I guess we could say this is episode 1. But until next week, folks, I hope everyone stays safe and healthy. And once again, if you enjoyed what you listened to, please hit like and subscribe. Well, actually, I guess you're not going to hit like, because this isn't a fucking YouTube channel. But subscribe to the podcast, and throw me a follow on Instagram if you don't already. Stay tuned. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we will see you next week. My name is Matt Lindsay, and this is Enough of the Bullshit. This was our intro, episode 1, and thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Cheers.